Oh, I really, really, really hope that the Trump administration is going to fully take advantage of this opportunity with ICE and airports and the TSA. We know that starting Monday, the ICE agents are going to be sent to various airports across the country. We don't know which ones yet. They don't know which ones yet, but they will be going there to assist TSA agents in their duties, to help them to focus on screening while ICE agents do the less trained components, such as guarding exits and stuff like that. This should help to mitigate the long lines that have been happening in airports across the nation, thanks to Democrats and their partial government shutdown of DHS in an effort to go after ICE. It's pretty ironic, of course, that it will be ICE that helps to stop or to help solve the problem that Democrats created in their attempts to get ICE. Poetic justice, if you ask me. But we know that this should help a bit. Okay, they're planning on going in there and doing the duties that don't require specialized training that TSA agents normally require. So they're not going to be sitting there manning X-ray machines or anything like that. But they'll be freeing up TSA agents to go do that themselves. In the meantime, ICE agents will be positioned in the appropriate places, trying to fill the gaps so that the TSA agents who are currently not being paid, well, hopefully they'll be able to do the job that makes the lines shorter, that makes traveling in America easier. But like I said, this is an opportunity. We have an article over at conservativeplaybook.com titled Sending ICE to Airports is a Huge Opportunity to Make ICE Look Good. I've said on multiple shows recently that ICE has a PR problem, an optics problem. It's not real. I mean, it's not based upon reality. It's based upon the drumbeat of negative narratives that have been pushed out about ICE really throughout all of last year, but it culminated or really hit its peak when a pair of American citizens, Alex Preddy and Renee Good, were killed uh, while they were protesting ICE, while they're trying to disrupt ICE operations. They ended up getting themselves killed, and well, the optics for ICE has been going downhill ever since. Most Americans, even those of us who fully support deportations, there's still a whole lot of people who view ICE negatively, and this is a chance. Okay, this really is an opportunity for them to humanize ICE agents, to make it to where they are being helpful. Obviously, if they can make the line shorter, that's going to be very helpful. People are going to appreciate that. But it also, again, puts a human face to it. A lot of these people that are against ICE have never actually come face to face with an ICE agent. They've seen the videos through legacy media or on social media. They've heard the stories. They get constantly bombarded with anti-ICE rhetoric, and so they might have a negative feeling that's not based upon anything other than the the massive amounts of negativity directed towards ICE. They might be all in favor of deportations. I've heard a phrase repeated often, even by some Republicans, saying, we want the deportations, but we want ICE to do it the right way, as if they're somehow doing it the wrong way. They're doing it the way that they're supposed to be doing it. They have been from the beginning. That's not to say they've done everything perfectly in each individual instance. There are always going to be hiccups when you're dealing with criminals and trying to capture criminals. Okay, it's not going to be flawless, especially when we're considering the sheer size of the problem, that being in the tens of millions of illegal aliens here in the United States of America. So yeah, they haven't been perfect, but they can't be perfect. With that said, the vast majority of the time they do it by the books. They do it perfectly. They do it the way that they're supposed to do it. So to say, well, we don't like the way they're doing it, that's number one, it's very ignorant. It's always coming from people who have no idea, who couldn't comprehend the idea of even trying to capture an illegal alien and set them up for deportation, right? They're like, oh yeah, you just walk in and say, hey, you're an illegal alien, here, come with us. That's not how it usually goes down. That's not how it ever really goes down. There's always some sort of complication, and ICE agents are excellent at dealing with those. So no, we don't need them to do it differently. But again, there's all this negativity towards them. So now we can put a smiling face, a helpful face, one that is designed to say, hey, we're here because we should be out there catching the bad guys, but instead we're here helping to shorten your lines because President Trump thinks it's important. Tom Homan thinks it's important. Republicans across the White House and Capitol Hill all think it's important. And so we're here because we know that you need us. We want to get this over and done with. We want to get the government opened back up. We want to get back to doing our job, which is to go and find and deport illegal aliens. But in the meantime, we do have to do something because the Democrats aren't budging. For those who don't know, Democrats are making demands, including the several demands that are untenable. A couple of them are not that bad, but one in particular is a non-starter, and they keep pushing for it. They want judicial warrants to be used by ICE agents when making arrests against illegal aliens, and that would make the process 1,000 times more difficult than it is today, utilizing the properly legal administrative warrants to go after people who have already been given their final order of deportation. Why do we need judicial warrants when their cases have already been adjudicated? They are already set to be deported. So we have to go prove again that they still need to be deported, that they, since the last time that they were set for given their final deportation order, since then they've been able to somehow miraculously get their U.S. citizenship. It's impossible to do it that way, but that's pretty much what the Democrats are demanding. Of course, they know that it won't work, and that's the point. They want to eliminate deportations. They want as many criminal, violent, illegal aliens walking the streets of the United States of America as possible. It's part of their whole big, huge master plan. I'm going to play for you a little clip of Tom Homan Sunday morning explaining what ICE is going to be doing. And really, you'll notice here, I'm very impressed that the way that he handled it. He didn't come across as, hey, look, we've already got this figured out. He plainly said, look, this is a work in progress, sort of thrown onto us. So we're going to get it figured out, but we're not going to be having the ICE agents man the x-ray machines or anything like that. They don't need to. And I thought he handled it very well. I'll play that in a second. Let's have a very, very short break, and then we'll be right back with Tom Homan.
The current food crisis is only going to get worse. Now is the time to secure long-term food you can store at home so you'll never stand in the government's bread lines. Visit jdrucker.com/food. That's jdrucker.com/food.
Put together a plan today, and we'll execute tomorrow.
Okay, so there are a lot of questions here. First of all, are ICE agents even remotely trained to handle security at airports?
ICE agents receive a high level of training. And, the ICE agents are assigned at many airports across the country already. They do a lot of criminal investigation on smuggling at airports. But, there's got TSA agents covering exits, people that enter through the exits. Certainly a highly trained ICE law enforcement officer can cover an exit, makes people don't go through those exits, entering the airport through the exits. And that stuff like that relieves that TSA officer to go to screening and to reduce those lines. So wherever we can provide extra security, I don't see an ICE agent looking at an x-ray machine because they're not trained in that. There are certain parts of security that TSA is doing that we can move them off those jobs and put them in the specialized jobs to help move those lines.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. So what you're saying is when you move ICE into airports, they are going to be just around the exits and the exteriors. They're not going to be helping people get through the lines and screening people's bags.
Those discussions are going on now. I'm not expert at TSA, so that's why I'm talking to the TSA administrator and the ICE director, find out where we can fit in. We'll have a plan by the end of today, where we're sending what airports we're starting with and where we're sending them. But that's a discussion we're having right now. I mean, I ended the discussion to do the show, and I'll be back having those discussions when I finish. So it's a work in progress, but we will be at the airports tomorrow.
So making ICE visible, making them helpful, putting them out there, smiling. I'm not saying they have to go, put on clown outfits and juggle. I'm saying they just need to be there and just be normal, just be themselves, be human beings, because this is going to be very different from their normal job, which is to bust down doors when necessary, chase after people when necessary, throw handcuffs on them and put them in the car and take them to a holding cell as they await deportation. That's a challenge. What they're going to be asked to do for however long it takes to get the Democrats to either come to their senses or for John Thune to come to his senses and just eliminate the filibuster altogether, which is what I've been pushing for a while now. Something has to give. In the meantime, they can use this as a way to humanize ICE. And at the end of the day, if they can do this the right way, if the Trump administration, and I'm assuming they are, the only reason I put a question mark on it at all is because we haven't heard this. But let's assume that they recognize this. Let's assume they know that they're telling their agents, hey, this is basically, it's like a paid day off. You got to go stand here, keep people that are heading from this direction, heading in that direction, tell them they can't go through that direction. That's it. You're guarding exits. You're guarding areas that have to be guarded by human beings, but that don't necessarily need to be guarded by somebody who's trained to run x-ray machines or to move people along in the line. There's other developments too, by the way. This isn't the only one. We have heard that Elon Musk has discussed paying the TSA agents, paying their salaries temporarily until this gets fixed. That would be a tremendous help. I'm not sure what the logistics are of that, how that even works. He's not a member of the government. He can't just go and get a list of all of their bank accounts or whatever. I'm not sure how he can do it, but if he can, God bless him for that, because we do need these agents to be taken care of. Okay, they've gone a long time. We're over a month into this shutdown. They've gone at least 2 checks that they haven't received. That can be debilitating for any family, really. In America today, any middle-class family that relies on paychecks, not getting them once can really suck. Not getting them twice can be just abysmal. And so they're forced to either go find other jobs, second jobs, or to quit TSA altogether and find a job that will pay them. They know they're going to get their paychecks eventually. We know that. That's how government shutdowns work. But in the meantime, how do they pay their bills? And so Elon Musk stepping up is a very good thing. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I'm not sure. I don't know if this is going to make a noticeable dent in the wait times. I hope it does. I pray that it does. I hope that they are able to make a positive impact, not just for the sake of travelers in TSA, but also for themselves. I hope that they can be viewed in a mildly heroic, from a mildly heroic perspective, going in there and fixing things that need to be fixed. And hopefully Americans will appreciate that. One thing is certain, Democrats are already starting to freak out about this. And I think I can speak for a majority of Americans when I say I don't care what Democrats think about this.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.